The Slim Fast 14-day effect on your New Year's resolution. Day 1, the new year. You want to kick it off with a bang, and you're not just talking about fireworks. Day 14, you're ready to start this year right, looking great and preferably on top.
2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. Swap 2 meals a day for Slim Fast protein shakes or bars, get in a 30-minute workout, and stick to a 1,200-calorie diet to lose up to 6 pounds in your first 14 days. Find Slim Fast in a store near you.
You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Beauty and the Beast After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Beauty and the Beast After Show.
That's right.
They played this.
We're back. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV, holding it down here in the beautiful city of Los Angeles, California, with another breathtaking episode of Beauty and the Beast, bringing in the new year the right way. I'm your host, Alikona Bradford, and I am joined by 2 amazing hosts tonight. So I'm going to welcome the lady first.
Oh, thank you. Hi, everyone. Paige Sullivan, back again.
And our newest addition, our testosterone in the building.
Hi guys, Happy New Year. Alex Angarita here.
Oh, you usually say it with such flair. Can you give me that, like...
Angarita, you want to hear?
Yeah,
Angarita?
I like that. Okay. All right.
I read your last name, and it just made me want a margarita.
It's like a party when you say his
I'm
name.
drunk right now.
We're apparently still having a Backstreet party at the moment. That was a tribute just for Alex, you guys.
Thanks, I requested that.
Did you? Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so let's go into the episode right away because we picked up where we left off. I do like that they gave us some flashbacks of last episode when Kat did her interrogation. She gave a few.
Yeah, because I kind of forgot like where we were.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
It was a while ago.
Quite helpful.
A little murky, you know. I didn't have time to go back and watch it.
Right.
And sometimes I don't like to do that because then I think twice about like my thoughts previously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you rewatch an episode. But I was very glad they filled us
Right.
in.
Well, of course, and then she's got her version of the story, which we see, and then the version that she's verbalizing as well. And can I just tell you how Detective was it Hendricks was his name? Let me see. I have it down in my notes.
That.
I wrote just FBI agent.
I think it's Kendricks. He was a butthole, basically.
No. At the beginning, he was not. Here's my question. Okay. You think he was a butthole?
Yes.
Fine. Valid. He was doing his job.
Yeah.
Kat and her dad were lying. So, you know.
He's very thorough.
He's an FBI agent. You gotta have, some cojones to become an FBI agent. You have to stick to your guns. You know they're lying, so make them tell you the truth.
Yeah, I'm with Paige on this one. Like, if you're going to hire an FBI agent, you don't want to be somebody that's like, you know what? That looks about right.
Yeah,
I get what you guys are saying,
There's a bullet with blood on it.
Well, yeah, that's later on in the show, and that's when he starts getting really pushy, but still.
Prior to that, I thought he was very nice. I thought he was just like, tell me what happened.
That's
Let's
true.
go through the motions. Let's see what happened.
Right.
Because, he has a confession. He has the criminal, like, behind bars. And who arrests their dad and lies about the details?
Yeah.
That's true.
If her dad got away, then maybe,
Was he the most interesting character I've ever seen on television?
Nah.
No, but he was doing his job. I think he was necessary to the plot. And if he had been like somewhat incompetent, then it's like, then where's the drama?
Yeah.
So then what did you guys think about following the investigation? We saw the slow progression of
Yes.
Gabe finally admitting his feelings because it started off as a little bit of a, I'll do whatever it takes to protect you.
Right.
Which led into a whole
But
lot
I like how casual he was about it. He's like, oh, I'll save your life and your career, and then maybe we could get some drinks.
Do you think that's casual? Is that considered casual for the
I mean,
ladies?
he could've just,
To me,
like-
that seems so obvious. It's like, I'm here for you. And can we go out?
Well, no, because, he is there for her. He was there for
Right.
Vincent. He's there for her. They're kind of like, how she refers to, like, Vincent let us down. Like, he chose killing my father over us, which for
That's bull honky.
I know, but no, he did choose that.
He did, but
choose
at the
that.
same time, he has a very valid argument. This guy was going after him. He was about to ruin everything.
but
He's been ruining everything for Vincent this entire time.
But guess what? It's not just about Vincent. That's the thing. It's not just about Vincent. Vincent, I feel like, has tunnel vision. Like, he sees protecting himself, protting his livelihood.
He's with beast-like instincts, though. That's part of the whole thing.
Right, but that doesn't make me like him as a guy. Like, I literally, after this first half of the season in this episode, I'm just like, ugh, Vincent, goodbye. Like,
Really?
Yes,
I'm not.
over it.
I'm
like,
not.
I think his attitude
Why?
is so, like, I just think he's so...
Too much beast?
No, not even that. It's just like the way he acts towards Catherine. He doesn't even have any emotion or feeling towards the way she may be feeling. Like, you aren't the only one in this. You're not a victim.
Well, he
you
does
know?
have a bullet in his stomach. He does
Yeah, but
have
he
a
was.
whole...
Here's the thing. You know, he was gonna kill him because he killed all these other people, and he was gonna kill me. But like they say, an eye for an eye. You know, that makes the whole world blind. Like, you can't just kill everybody who kills people. That doesn't work.
Well, he had a very direct issue with that particular
Exactly.
dude.
Exactly. Okay, I agree with what you're saying. However, if somebody erased your memory and had you running around town killing people and controlling you, mind fluffing you, you're just gonna let them go?
No one wants to be mind fluffed.
No.
No, but I'm not saying I'm going to let them go. He's not being let go. He's being put behind bars, and that's the thing. You know, you get more answers with the person alive. You know, you don't ruin Kate and the fact that Kat and the fact that her dad, you know, you just murdered her dad in front of her. You don't lose your girlfriend's respect and your humanity. I mean, there's a plethora of reasons why not to kill him. When there's only really one good reason to kill him, and that's revenge and hate.
Well,
you know?
Well, you also have to keep in mind he's been 10 years in hiding, right? He doesn't trust the system. He doesn't trust jails. He doesn't even trust hospitals. Like, it took him so long. He was willing to die almost before going to a hospital. So you got to look at it from his perspective. He doesn't know what's going to happen after he lets this guy go. He has zero faith in the system, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, but he is a different person than he was last season. He's a different person without those memories. He doesn't remember being in hiding for 10 years. He barely remembers the bits and pieces of his life that he has had flashbacks of. It's not like, you know, he acts so scared and nervous, but this Vincent only knows just this tidbit that's happened in the past 6 or so months, you know?
I think there's beast memory there.
Yeah, he was having
latent beast
flashbacks,
memory.
though.
It might be subconscious, but, you know, for him to say, like, 10 years of hiding, I'm really good at hiding, you know, yeah, but you have amnesia, so what do you really remember of it?
Yeah, what do you really know, Vincent?
No, but
Who
that's-
knows?
But like,
Who knows?
but like, are we just to assume that he knows everything now? Like, does he remember everything?
Well,
I
no,
mean,
but it's enough to know that someone's been controlling you and erased your memory. That's enough to be angry with them.
I agree, but I think Kat's point is valid. I mean, you know, there's choices we all make. You choose to be the bigger person and do the thing that's right, not the thing that you want to do. I mean,
She did have some good points in this one.
Yeah.
I got to admit, the whole like, hey, are you going to still be a victim?
Right.
Or are you going to do what you need to do?
Right. She says, you know, you have this team. You have JT, you have me, you have Gabe, you have Tess, who doesn't even really care for you, working for you, protecting you.
Yeah.
And this whole episode, I think they built it up for you to be mad at Vincent because, you know, here's Kat sacrificing things, trying to save him. Here's JT getting arrested, trying to save him. And Vincent only really considers himself and Tori. He doesn't
Right.
think twice about anybody else who's involved.
Right.
And that's where I'm frustrated with him. Especially in the end when he's saving Tori and Kat's just locked in a vault.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we'll move along from this topic because it's starting to get a little bit heated in this studio right now. Let's just talk about the second scene. Obviously, we talked about Vince getting shot. Well, he was shot, bleeding, stubborn as all heck because, like you said, he didn't want to go to the hospital, didn't want people to find out who he was because, of course, they're going to fingerprint him and figure out he's Vincent Keller who's been missing and just a whole plethora of mess. In that mess and all that hiding and deception and everything else, he was shirtless, and it was amazing.
He's got a good body, people.
Yes.
Very good body. And, you know.
He's in excellent shape, everyone.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you want to look like Vincent Keller, then you can do so with Slim Fast. 2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. In 14 days, the only thing higher than your confidence will be your hemline. This podcast is brought to you by Slim Fast. So if you do want to look like Vincent, I'm pretty sure it takes a lot of work.
I mean, some crunches and some Slim Fast
and
is
maybe
probably
some Slim
going
Fast
to be.
and some running and some hiking and
I think
jogging.
you just need the Slim Fast.
That's it. Is that your diet?
Just Slim Fast.
Just that. Screw the gym.
I mean, he did look good besides,
Yeah.
you know, the
The
blood and the
bleeding.
bullet hole
Yeah.
in his
Yeah.
side.
You still have to feel bad for him. I mean, yeah, he's being stubborn, but here he is trying to self-medicate himself.
I feel bad.
you know?
He seemed a lot like they really played up the victim aspect of it, I think, in this one, because he seemed like this like scared kid. You know, he wasn't making all the right decisions, and I think it was a lot of times it was like us being pushed into this idea of like, hey, he's not this like immortal beast. This guy could die.
Right.
And now he's kind of coming out to the world. Like he had this like, he did a good job as an actor, actually, I got to say. He looked very like bewildered in front of the cameras.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that. Like, he really was, I felt like playing a victim this entire episode, whereas before he really hasn't done that. And maybe that's where I'm just upset with him. I feel like this Vincent, like this season, I'm not a fan of him. I wasn't at the beginning of this season
Neither
either.
was I.
And I just think the decisions he makes every day define him, because there's all these people who are caring about everybody else but themselves, and here he is saying, oh, poor me, like, you shot me. Ugh, you shot me. Like, she shot you, now let's deal with that and figure out where to go from here. I mean,
Does that humanize him, though? I mean, there's no appeal to like the... Because he seemed much more human in this episode.
I mean, I think the fact that where you said, you know, he can die, I don't think we've ever really fully grasped the concept that, you know... just everybody else is fragile, but he can also still die. He's not going to survive forever. I mean, hopefully for the, you know, show.
Yes, he will.
Show.
Yes, he will, everybody.
But in real life, maybe not so much.
Well, we also see Tori start to get a little defensive over him too. Oh, you're rolling your eyes. And not to say that I wasn't that annoyed, but you can totally tell she's got this huge crush on him, and now all of a sudden it's team Tori and Vincent.
I don't like it. I get that you guys are buddies, you're both beasts, and you feel like you're kind of in this alone. You know, the two of you have this bond. But for Vincent, where he knows Kat has literally put her entire life like in a standstill for him, and everything that she does is for him. And he's just kind of over here like protecting Tori and like hanging out with Tori. And the one thing about her that really got me was when she walked downstairs, she's like, you have a lot of nerve showing up here. Oh, please. You've only been around for like a day and a half. Like,
yeah, but she shot him.
Yeah.
That's the whole, like, there's a hole in the dude's side.
But she thinks that she just shot him. Like, maybe if, like, they were in a fight and Kat was like, meh, and shot him, fine. But, like, there's this huge overarching story. There's years leading up to this moment. And, you know, I think... Tori's new. Like, who is she to say?
She's young and she's naive, not only in herself and who she is as a person, but in this situation as well, and as a beast and everything else. And of course, when you like somebody, you're going to be team them. And I feel like this whole episode, she was really pushing the whole, we're in this together and I have your back and you and me and you and me. And whether it be intentional or not intentional, just putting Catherine off into her own.
Oh, it's definitely
category.
intentional.
Oh, it's so intentional.
It's definitely intentional. But again, like there's a hole in the guy's side. That's a bad breakup.
That is.
No, but
That's a very definitive, like, I think it's over.
No, but she knew prior to their breakup, when they're at that Thanksgiving dinner, she knew, and she still kissed Vincent that night. I mean, she from the get-go.
You can't attribute that to beast stuff.
No, I can't. I think
beast vibes.
I think that's like the same thing when people are like, oh, monogamy, it's not in our nature. Like, okay, but you have willpower and a brain, so let's use it, Vincent and Tori. Like, I think if Alikona walked in here with her boyfriend and we're all having dinner together and then we have this great attraction in the living room, I'm not just going to start making out with him. I mean, it's just...
But you're not a beast.
Take out my earrings. What?
That's what I'm
and
saying.
She might kick my
Let's not
butt.
forget these people are like half beasts, right? So they've got all this like intensity, and she's a new beast. I think you got to excuse her a little bit.
But intensity. So you have intensity in every aspect, right? Vincent like feels everything a little bit more than we would. So shouldn't his love and like loyalty to Kat maybe
I
trump?
don't think love and loyalty are part of the beast psyche.
I'm going to give this analogy with the whole beast psyche thing. It's so sorry, you are a man, but it's like the man thing.
It's like being a man.
Yeah, it's the comparison of being a man and one of those men who can't keep it in their pants and they want to blame it on their own instinctual things because I'm a man. It's in my nature to spread my seed. So even though I love you and I'm in love you, me sleeping with her, I don't feel anything. It's just my man instincts.
Right, but this was Tori who did that. I'm giving her the
but
pass.
he did it too.
Kissed back.
He did it too.
He could have said,
He
get off
having
me.
had more control over his beast-like stuff because he's more experienced, that was a bad call on his part. I do agree with that.
I just think there's so many things about I'm sitting here watching this whole episode, and it's kind of like slowly seeing like my worst nightmare for this show happen, like where like Vincent's going to be with Tori, and like I don't want to see that happen. It's like this whole show is built on this relationship that Kat and Vincent had together, and now it's just kind of deteriorated in a mere
One
half
episode.
hour, and then
Yeah, it was quick. Yeah,
you know,
that was quick.
and how he's letting her just really kind of guide him in his decisions. Even at the hospital where he's doing this press release, she's like basically like, "I'm here, I'm behind you, I got you." Like, you know, you're not his go-to, and it shouldn't be you. And honestly, if anybody, JT.
Right.
I'm more mad that JT, I feel like we forget about him sometimes because of this epic romance, but what about the guy who literally put his life on hold for 10 years?
That's a lot of guilt.
I'm gonna say let's touch on JT later because I already know it's gonna go into another direction for me, and I'm gonna start talking about the big reveal.
I was crying. I was like,
Oh no, I'm not gonna cry
because it was sad.
It was very sad.
It
It was
was
very sad, but I want to hold off on JT. However, you know, JT, as much as the situation was really intense and he's walking in, why did Kat shoot Vince? But he doesn't know what's going on, and he's freaking out. And of course, in the middle of him freaking out, he still has to throw a little joke in there somewhere in there. And
I just think it's funny nobody called and told him. Like, nobody was like, oh, FYI. Like,
your homie got shot.
this is what happened last
Yeah,
night.
you'd think he'd be on like Vince's emergency like contact list.
No,
or something.
I feel like this whole season, you made a good point. This whole season, JT. Yeah. Anyway, JT has been a little bit on the back burner because he and Vincent haven't had the opportunity to reconnect as friends. They haven't gone through those moments of remembering who each other are because they focus so much on Kat and Vincent remembering and getting their relationship back together that JT is just this buddy that Vincent knows as his best friend and has been for a while, but that's all he really knows. He's not gotten that connection.
I honestly feel like, you know, I think it's going to remain that way because seeing as it's kind of split up into teams right now, it feels like, you know, it's Tess, JT, Gabe, and Kat over here, and Vincent and Tori over here. And I think that is really setting it up for what you've wanted for a long time, is this storyline for JT and Tess. And I think this is where JT isn't just the sidekick and best friend anymore. You know, he's his own character, and he's going to hold his own storylines, and him and Tess maybe will be more.
Well, Tess seemed to give him some real truth bombs, right? And it seemed to come from like a place of like she actually cared about the guy. Was like, hey man, we all make mistakes, but it's time to move on. It felt like there was a real relationship there, not just like flirty or where this might go. I felt like in whatever time has passed, there's been some progress there.
And he obviously feels comfortable enough with her to tell her, you know, what we're holding off on.
I was happy for JT in this one.
Yeah, I liked seeing them develop and really open up to one another and share these moments together because I feel like a lot of relationships, you know, they're built off friendships, but Tess and JT didn't have the best friendship. And now, you know, they're in this together. They're the best friends. You know, they're the ones supporting these main characters that we all love, but people forget about them. And so this is them kind of thinking about themselves a little bit, like taking advantage of this situation to gain a friend and possibly a boyfriend, girlfriend.
You think it's going to go that route?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
And you know what?
It seemed more friendship oriented.
No, don't say that.
That's what it felt. I mean, you'd think they would have made some I mean, I felt like their relationship blossomed, but I didn't get a strong sense of romance.
I think
somebody is bleeding. What is going to happen?
No. I think they gave us like kind of an idea because she says, you know, I'm still dealing with Joe and he left 6 months ago. She's still hurt.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And I think that was their way of saying like, not yet. Not yet. Soon.
JT's got to earn it. JT's got to earn it.
And she's also got to get over it, you know? I mean, sometimes it's just hard to even think about being with someone else when you've had a breakup. So maybe for Tess, you know.
I don't know, 6 months? I'm just saying. It's on her way. It's on her way.
Yeah.
She looks great, by the way.
Yes.
I was just like looking at her. I was like, oh, I love her haircut. I digress, but I really
It's
thought
important.
that.
It's important.
But you know
It's
what? Going back to JT and all his sacrifices that he's made for Vincent, he finds himself going to have to steal blood, medication, and all these other things.
Which I think is probably a felony, like stealing drugs.
And if it's not, it should be America.
I think it is. No, I'm pretty sure it is. Like, because if you sell prescription drugs, I mean,
of course.
a big
Stealing
no-no.
blood seems bad.
But I appreciate Tessa's approach when she went in there because I thought it was pretty slick that she walked in there and she arrested him, slammed his head real good on that desk. I'm sure there was some inner animosity.
I did notice that was an extra, just bam.
But I think Austin tweeted something about that. He's like, I really love that interaction right there.
But it was smart of her the way she approached it too, because again, she made mention of needing the blood and the medication for evidence. So it was a good.
Yeah, she was strong in this episode. Yeah. She had said a lot of interesting things.
Yeah, I really liked like what you called the truth bombs. Like he needed to hear it. But then it also prompted us to finding out why he's always been what she called, this is more than loyalty. This isn't loyalty. This is something above and beyond that.
Right. At that point, it's guilt. He feels responsible.
Which we didn't realize.
Well, let's just talk about it, because then there's so many other topics. Let's just stay in one topic before we move on. So, truth bombs. Why don't you tell us a little bit about those truth bombs, Alex?
Well, I mean, we discovered that not only is JT a great friend, but he's a great friend because he stayed with him for 10 years.
Right.
And it's because he originally was a reason why he feels Vincent was turned into a beast in the first
Which
place.
was a big whoa.
That's a big whoa.
That's huge. I mean, we've never heard anything about that.
That is, honestly, that's the last thing I thought was going to be said.
Nowhere.
Really out of nowhere.
It did.
But
it explains so much.
Yeah, it explains everything.
Yeah. Sorry, keep going. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It was brilliantly done by the writers to be able to introduce that, because it explains so much. It reveals so much about the characters. It reveals so much about the relationship, and it also, I feel like, it empowered JT, because now he's not this bumbling sidekick. He's actually a guy who's struggling with his own demons, and it gave his character a lot of depth.
Yeah. And I just,
And that's a secret he's probably been holding on to for...
Yeah.
Does Vincent... Well, Vincent must know.
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. And if he knew, he forgot it. I can't.
That's true. Well,
It gives you a second chance to not say anything this time. Wouldn't that be crazy, right? If a friend of yours got amnesia, it's like, remember when I... Oh, you don't remember
so
that.
never mind. Never mind.
This must
I think that, even if he put Vincent's name on that, and he didn't research it, and he just thought, he honestly did it out of the good of his heart. He thought this is going to give him an edge. This will make sure he comes home safely.
But he didn't research it. He said it himself.
He didn't research it, but Vincent guaranteed they made them sign a contract saying, we understand all of this, blah, blah, blah. Vincent doesn't just get his name on a list and instantly get injected with DNA. There was a process, so Vincent didn't look into it either.
Right.
So whether or not, his name could have ended up there randomly or because of JT, but it's also Vincent's responsibility to kind of think twice and say,
Yeah, that was a little bit naive.
Yeah.
Then we wouldn't have a show.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, they were both very young.
Right.
And so...
But you can now understand why JT does feel so guilty. I never really saw it like that. I just thought he was a really great best friend. It never dawned on me that he would have anything to do with...
Best friends are supportive. Best friends don't sacrifice their lives for each other. I mean, they do, but not in that way, There was a way that he could have helped Vincent hide and still had a life.
But what if you, turned your friend, girlfriend, guy friend into, an animal?
Well, yeah.
That would give it food and water.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'd feel... I mean, think about...
Of course. Well, yeah.
But when you give up
animal?
everything you had, he gave up his home, he was living in hiding, he spent days and nights working on serums and this and that. He dedicated all of his time outside of work, his love life, his friendships for Vincent. And, there's guilt, but there's, that's a lot of guilt.
Yeah.
That's an insane amount of guilt. And I think, if Vincent finds out and is mad at him,
I don't think Vincent would be mad at him. This new Vincent, maybe a little bit.
Do you think he's going to find out?
Vincent,
Do you think Vincent's going to find out?
Not anytime soon.
I don't even know if he will find out. I don't even know if it's relevant.
I think for me, it would depend on the animal. If I turned my buddy into a goldfish, I feel pretty bad. But if I turned him into this badass lion thing, and be like, I think you kind of owe me, man.
Yeah.
Or at least we're even.
Right. Well, but you bring up the point of Tess pointing out that JT should recognize the good that's come from his mistake.
True.
That's, like you guys were saying, a really great thing about her character and how she supported JT. I love the advice that she gave to him.
She said something really awesome. I'm looking for it.
Yeah, but no, she did. Yeah, she said that, and I really I didn't think about it that way either, though.
Yeah.
I feel like when you do something bad, or not bad, but you do something and you feel like there's a bad result, you never look at what
good.
could have happened. Especially even when you get rejected from one school and you get into another college and you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted. That really sucks. And then 10 years down the road, good stuff happens to you, and you're like, oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, she points out the fact that look at all the lives he saved.
Right.
He saved Catherine. He's saved so many other people from death or criminals or what have you, and none of that. He wouldn't be capable of that if he wasn't a beast.
But it is hard. Just like Vincent battles with his demons, JT also probably feels responsibility for when Joe's brother got killed and when innocent people do die,
What?
This is what Tess said. You can't beat yourself up without patting yourself on the back, too.
Yeah.
That was like, you know what? Good for you, Tess.
Yeah.
That was a good line. Because it's true. Because we all do that. I mean, who doesn't do that?
Yeah.
Doesn't, remember all the, oh, that was a bad move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's
last Saturday, that was a bad move.
That was a bad idea.
Okay, but going into bad moves, let's talk about Tori again and her bad moves and how she chooses to go about understandable. She gets this phone call from her father's estate who tricks her into coming down.
Yeah, who are they?
I have no idea.
No, I don't think they are lawyers, though, right?
No, there was like a law firm
criminals.
sign on. No,
Right,
there
but
was a law firm sign on the
I
thing.
feel like that was like.
That's baloney.
They just rented a conference room.
Yeah,
and
I
all a
do.
bunch
I
of
think
criminals.
that.
Yeah.
I think it was something weird and schemy.
I like your version better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're actually lawyers. I mean,
No.
most lawyers don't threaten you with a gun. I mean,
No, but she blew her own cover. But at the same time, I didn't appreciate the way they were talking to her because right from the get-go, to me, I already knew they were conniving just because of the way they were making her come.
Yeah.
Come sign
Plus, they
some
played the
paper.
conniving music.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, Alex.
There's a certain conniving sound.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, I don't care. But,
Yeah, no, they were very rude.
yeah.
I remember thinking that, being like,
Yeah.
wow, it can't be that important. Like, if it was that important, maybe you would have called her like a couple days ago and
Right.
asked her to come sign these papers.
Right. But we still don't know what specifically it was that they wanted. She beasts out and
It's
then.
that skeleton.
Well, oh. I don't know why that didn't hit me. I mean, there could have been other things. Well, I know there was a
There was-
skeleton, but there was other things
could have been
behind
gold.
there.
There could have been
I thought there was
jewels and
something
gold.
like valuable.
It has to do. I think it has to do
I
with the
think it has
beast
to do with the beast
aspect. I think
skeleton.
it's the skeleton because. Spoiler alert! Next week's episode's called Ancestors, so but
Yeah. That's some good
I think-
deduction there.
yeah, I think the skeleton has something to do with the beast, and they knew that her dad was a beast, and they know she's a beast now. But it all seems to be revolving around the topic of not being fully human.
Yeah.
So like
and-
a missing ancestor, like a missing link skeleton?
Maybe.
At least.
Maybe
Some sort
the
of DNA,
original
isn't there?
beast, or like a piece
See?
of something that they're missing that they can't remember what they
Yeah,
did.
maybe like maybe the link between the beast and man.
See, I thought otherwise. I thought that the skeleton was a prisoner or some sort of person who was trying to enter the secret lair, and like a Indiana Jones tomb
stuck.
thing, he got stuck in some sort of booby trap and was just there because you saw this chain
Yeah.
that you looked like a cufflink that had held down whomever it was that died on that table.
Right.
So that person was not successful in obtaining whatever victory
I
it was
like
they
your
were going
I
for.
think you're wrong, but I really love your
Yeah, I
version
think you're
because
wrong,
I
too.
love booby traps. I think it's
You
hilarious to
just like
think that way.
boobies, but
Moving on.
I think
Also
that
true, also
I think that you're wrong. I think it's a good prediction, but I think that maybe it was like a test subject. Like how Vincent was
that's
one.
an
Like I think it was
interesting one.
maybe a very old prototype.
So
of
do you
the
think they
beast.
created the beast through testing, or do you think this
Yeah.
was like a genetic ancestor that maybe was a link to
Well,
the
maybe it was
past?
a genetic ancestor that they tried to replicate. Like maybe this was like the
Right.
original beast, like somebody who was just born like that, and then they tried to
Yeah,
replicate its
but
DNA.
here's the thing: the beasts, are not this weird form of human being. They've said in the past that it's something that they genetically modified, and they took the best traits from animals and put it into one being. So the eyes of a hawk, the senses of a wolf, like the smell of a wolf, the speed of a cheetah.
But they
Some of this
can't
I'm
take
making up.
that DNA out of an animal and put it in a human. I think
We
what
don't
they did
know
was
that.
they modified human DNAs. So just the way that you could technically, I don't know, like people are born with DNA, issues or something that makes them just like slightly different because of how their DNA developed. Maybe that is what happened with the original beast, and what they've been doing all this time was trying to replicate that with.
So you think the first one was like an accident? kind
Yeah,
of?
maybe. Like there's all those, there's always like phenomenons, like people are born and they're like, how do you have
Can I ask you guys a
this?
serious question?
Of
though?
course.
So if you had to choose between the eyes of a hawk, the smell of a wolf, and the speed of a cheetah, which would it be?
Speed of a cheetah.
Wait, the eyes of the hawk, the smell, and the speed of a cheetah?
Right, those are the three.
The smell of a wolf.
Yeah, the eyes of the hawk, the speed of a cheetah.
Yeah, you don't want to mix those up.
Yeah.
I think I would want to probably maybe have the speed, but I think the eyes would be cool because then you could see like everything that people are doing around you.
That's true. That's true.
I'm gonna go with the smell of a wolf.
Yeah.
It's a
Or maybe like the ears of what is an animal that can hear?
An owl?
There you go.
Do they hear really well?
I don't know, but I would like to eavesdrop on some conversations.
a bat.
Oh yeah.
The ears
Yeah.
of a bat.
Yeah. I can do that.
You mix those all up, you get the beast that is literally inside that, whatever that is, that
That skeleton?
skeleton.
Yeah.
That's what we're dealing with.
But it also looked really small, didn't it? Didn't it look kind of like...
It was hunched over or something,
Because at first
right?
I thought it was maybe a beast as well, but then I was like, that looks kind of like a rat skeleton, kind of.
No
Well, maybe not that small,
way.
but it seems small.
It did.
you know?
It seemed very small. So maybe it could have been a child, though. It could have been.
Oh, interesting.
It could have been anything. We don't know.
Very morbid.
But I honestly
Yeah.
think that's all they're after. What was behind that? I mean, that's all they had her do.
Well,
so
we know that they were sent by whom and not a who, meaning there
That was a
is-
hilarious moment, by the way. I thought that was
Yeah.
really clever. Because, like, out of the blue, right? You've got this tense moment. The guy's like, I'm going to just correct your grammar. Like, you got to be real anal to have
Yeah.
a gun pointed at somebody and be like, no, wait, you didn't say that right.
I also liked, that whole interaction in that building. Tori and Kat are kind of fighting and like bickering, and then Kat finds the door, and then they're both like, "Oh, what is it?" Like together, like, "Oh." Tori stops being mad at Kat because now Kat found the answer that we were all looking for. And when those people did show up, though, she didn't really seem to flinch too much when they were like threatening to kill Kat. Like she didn't seem like that upset about it.
That's a great like. What's the right etiquette here? Do you like?
Like, do I care because I don't really know her?
Yeah. Like what? No, I mean,
I mean, technically, you're my competition,
Yeah,
and I
so if
really
somebody
like
was
Vincent.
gonna-
So if they kill you, it's not that much of
so
a
if someone
loss.
was gonna kill your man's ex, would you be like, I'm gonna step in, or well?
No, honestly.
What would you do, ladies? Come on, tell the truth.
I would,
tell the truth.
as a human being with a heart, I think I would help her out.
As a jealous girlfriend.
I would help her out. I would
okay.
help. I would help. I would hope. That's how I would act in a situation like that. But her eyes, it didn't really look like she was like, oh no. Like it was kind of just like blank. Like she was just scared and didn't really. I honestly think if Tori had the option to save herself or to save Kat, she'd just save herself.
Yeah, but if you think about it, when Kat was being forced into that little secret
She did
passageway,
shut the door.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
First of all, Kat held it down for a little while. She did her thing. Amen. But yeah, Tori didn't have to have that door closed. She was obviously trying to protect her.
Yeah, but what was she gonna say to Vince after that? Like, that ex you're really in love with? Yeah, about that.
She may have gotten
dead.
shot.
I just kind of let that go. Sorry.
Well, but that was my question for you guys, because at first it seemed like she didn't care. Like it didn't seem like she was going to do anything. But then in that instant, she does shut the door. Is it one of those things where it's a split second thing and you say, "Oh, I
think
have
so.
this opportunity. I'll just do it anyways."
I think so. I don't think she.
I don't think it was like an intentional like, "Oh, I'm gonna save this girl."
No, I think it was just like, oh, this is a good idea.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is a good idea in the moment because who could really predict that Kat was going to be in there and all of a sudden just start throwing kicks at people? But
Plus, she needed diversion as well. You know what I mean? You don't know as in like thinking like a beast. It's like she's just gonna create a diversion and then like do her ass kicking
But
thing on
as
the
a beast,
side.
they're like, "Oh, even if her eyes light up, shoot her." You like have so much more strength and speed and power, and you have like the ability to like. Maybe not like Vincent, because we don't know like what generation beast she is. She's basically like she was born a beast, or I don't really
that's a
know.
first.
We don't really know like her exact powers, and she's just coming into them.
Mm-hmm.
But Vincent can hear when people are nervous. Vincent can hear like every tick in your body, and
Right.
so as a beast, you would think, okay, you can threaten to shoot me, but
you're not going. But at the same time, too, going off of the last episode, she's got these senses that are brand new to her. She doesn't know what to do with them, how to work them, how to control them. Clearly, she thought she did because she started kicking butt in that little warehouse, and then all of a sudden, when she got kicked down, she turned back to human and she couldn't get herself back into beast mode to save herself.
Right.
She has no control over it
There's very little
whatsoever.
predictability.
Yeah.
But from the human standpoint, if there was. You don't take a risk with a beast. I think you gotta like shoot her in the leg or something. I mean, these guys just like how pro. That wouldn't make for very interesting TV, I suppose, if you just keep shooting people in the leg. But
no,
you gotta do something.
Probably not. But I mean, it was so like you said, predictable. She's lying there on the ground. Oh no!
But at the same
here comes
time,
Vincent to save
they
her.
need her to be alive in order to get whatever it is that they want. Because at that point, the door is shut. If she's dead, she is not able to look into the retina scanner.
But that's what frustrates me. So she's lying on the ground, right? She's gonna be killed. Not really, because they do need her eyes to open this thing. Vincent comes in. I know he doesn't know the details of what's happening, but he does. It's not like he looks twice for Kat. Like he just saves Tori.
But what was he supposed to do? I mean, at first I really loved the way that started though, with like two
entrance?
bodies just dropping from the ceiling.
Which means he had to have been up there like stealthily, like planning out his move a little bit, though, don't you think?
Or he could have just arrived at
And
the
just
scene
like,
and saw what was
boom.
going down. Yeah. This is going to sound so sick and morbid of me to say, but for whatever reason, that entrance was so sexy. I don't know why. I think it was just because it was
He was like taking
him-
charge.
Yeah, being a man and just coming in there and you're trying to hurt somebody. Two people that I obviously care about, one more than the other, but that's irrelevant. We're not going to talk
But
about that.
which one is the one that he cares
Either
about
way,
more?
it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Irrelevant. The point is that you're trying to harm something that's important to me, and him obviously being injured, he's risking hurting himself. But he comes in and he throws down.
He really did throw down.
But here's the thing.
I do
so
appreciate that.
He's
for sure.
beast mode. I don't think he's feeling pain. You know, when he's in
No.
that mode, he's not feeling pain.
Yeah.
He comes out of beast mode before Cat's anywhere to be seen. She's still
Because he's
locked in a
hurt.
closet. No, but he was killing everybody,
supposed
every
to
single
do? What's the
person
guy supposed
until
to do?
Tori's safe, and then doesn't think twice about, oh, I wonder where that other girl went.
But who knows? When he arrived, he could have arrived after she was already behind
Let's
the
not
door.
forget the hole in his side.
No, I know, but I felt like he didn't
Give
look.
him a break, ladies.
No, but as a
Seriously.
beast, when he was in that beast mode, I don't think he was feeling pain because he jumped down there, growls at them, he's killing all of them, one after the other after the other. And then the second that Tori's safe and nobody else is around her, then he comes out of the beast mode, and that's when he feels the pain and collapses to the floor. Okay, so you saved Tori.
But did he know Cat was even there?
That's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
they went together. They left together.
But he was tranked.
No, but he said where Cat and Tori.
I don't think he could have known that she was somewhere in the room.
No,
I don't
but they
know.
left together to go to that building together. They even said to Vincent,
Yeah.
we'll go together. I'll go with her. And then Vincent wouldn't do it, so she tranked him.
But I mean, that moment allowed Cat to eventually say, "Well, that's how I knew to let him go." I mean, you're right; it was significant.
She even says,
It
he
was
saved
significant.
Tori.
Well,
it was significant in that way.
Even watching the scene, though, that is something that crossed my mind before they addressed it verbally at the later part of the show, is seeing the two of them together after he saved her. It was awkward to see him saving another female, and it wasn't Catherine.
And not even saving a female, but saving a female and then like having her comfort him on the ground and having Catherine kind of just be like the logistics person. She's like, I'll call 911. And, and Tori being like, well, what do I tell them? And she's like, you're going to tell them exactly what happened. This is what happened, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, Kat is still the one in control,
Yeah.
like making everything tick, making this all go round.
Yeah.
Like, and Vincent doesn't even know that her job was on the line because of him. Like, he doesn't even care. Like, he doesn't know. Like, nobody ever stops to think twice, like, oh, like, the people you guys who are protecting you are putting their jobs at risk every day and their livelihood. And when you run off
Right.
with Tori or whatever
Right.
and go back into hiding, she's stuck here trying to explain where that bullet came from.
Right.
Luckily,
Excellent.
we have
No.
Gabe.
Well, yeah, no, I say excellent point. But just to play devil's advocate, if he doesn't know, then how does he know? Does that make sense?
He
Like,
doesn't
how
know
does
what
he
he doesn't
know? How is he supposed to know that Kat's risking all these things, or that she's being interrogated and that she's
She's
lying
not
for him?
communicating.
She hasn't told him that.
Right, but
true.
when's the last time you've seen Vincent go like, "Are you okay? Like, how are you, Kat?" Like, it was more like, "I'm shot. Obviously he's shot. He should be upset."
Right. It's like, I mean, you
But-
don't think clearly about, are you okay? I'm bleeding.
But even after,
close to
you
death.
know-
He's willing to go to the hospital and unearth 10 years of hiding. I mean,
Right,
he's
but
got to be
she's
in pretty
willing to
bad
put her
shape.
job and her life and her father on the line. Like, she gave up her father's freedom for Vincent. Like, some people wouldn't be able to do that. No matter how bad their parent is, there's so many people out there who would choose to protect their parent because of the sole reason that it's their parent.
There's definitely a letting go going on in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of like there's a big transition going on, and it's clear like new alliances have been formed. An interesting one was the dad and Gabe. I didn't see that one coming at all, but you
Yeah.
could see they have mutual interests, so it makes sense that they would pair
Yeah,
together.
I don't think anything too much into it. I think it really is, like you said, they both just care about Kat, and Gabe will do anything to protect her.
And the guy even said, Reynolds said, well, I'd rather have a former...
An ex-beast than a beast.
Yeah, like
Well,
my
what do you
daughter.
guys think of the Gabe Cat
I like it.
situation?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. As much as I'm Team Vin Cat,
interesting,
I feel like he's very endearing. He's sweet. I think that his feelings are very genuine.
Yes.
I don't know how far along it'll go because obviously that changes the storyline completely. But it's
You think it's reciprocated?
yeah.
Well,
but
here-
I think it's reciprocated in a way that either a man or a woman does when they're getting over an ex that they still care about. It's nice to have fresh wind of air in your life and someone new to be into and to be excited about. But at the same time, are you really fully over your ex?
So
Not
Gabe's
really.
a rebound.
But no,
Ish.
see, I don't
Ish?
think I agree with the ish because in the sense he's a rebound, but I think it's less. He's not really a rebound because let's think Vincent was captured. Yes, she spent the whole summer kind of trying to figure out where he was. But you have all that time without him, where you're not in a relationship technically because
How long
he's not
was
there.
that?
3 months. It was the whole summer.
It was the whole summer.
And then you have this time when he comes back, but he doesn't even remember you. So you're working this whole time trying to like act like you know each other and remember each other and make it work, but that's not working. It's almost like when you get to that point in a relationship where you realize it hasn't been a relationship for a long time. And so for the past however months, they really haven't been Vincent and Kat. Like she's been, I think she's been mourning it subconsciously and not realizing it. And that's why this episode she can come and say, you know, I'm done.
So this
you know?
is the classic getting over the bad boy and dating the right guy? Is that what's going on?
I think it should be because Tess has always said that she dates bad guys. You know, Kat, you always date the wrong guys. You always date the wrong guys. Guys who are bad for you, guys who don't do great things. Gabe is the one guy. He
and
was
you think
a bad
that's
guy.
The right guy.
I think Gabe is a good guy for her. And honestly, maybe you guys answer this. How do Vincent and Kat come back from this? I don't think they can. Like for me personally, I'm sure they will because of this show and what the premise of the show. But for me personally, I don't know how a couple would come back from something like this.
It is pretty huge.
And like rekindle. Like
Somebody
what is
shot
that?
me. Yeah, I'd have a hard time letting that one go.
It's not even the shooting. It's just everything that's happened. The amnesia, the capture, the life and death situations, Tori, like everything.
So does that mean there was not true love to begin with? It's
No.
Beauty and the Beast. I mean, have they been through too much? Have they been through too much?
Maybe.
Yes and no.
Too much baggage?
Yes and no. I could see what you're saying. It would be hard on Catherine's end to. I mean, you can't be mad at somebody for having amnesia, but when you have all these feelings for somebody and you're so in love with them and you're trying so hard to rekindle that same love, it will never be the same because that person will never remember your past and what made you you. And so, I don't know.
And it's not even the first time we've had this kind of like bump in the road. Like, remember when Alex showed up and there was that like question, like, does Vincent love me or does Vincent love his ex-fiance that like just walked into his life? I just feel like she has been a
Second
constant,
best,
you know, but she's been a constant. He has been her life and her, you know, everything for however many years now. And, you know, she keeps getting the short end of the stick in this.
I mean, you could also argue that they've been through so many things together that it's bonded them in a way that's so permanent that that's never going to go away. Well, maybe it has. Maybe it's to the point where they've gone through so much together that to the untrained eye, getting shot and broken up with might seem like the end, but really it's not. It can never be because it's already been forged. You know what I mean? I guess it's a matter of whether or not you believe in fate.
Or well, that and if two souls are meant to be together and they are destined, eventually they will find their way back, even through tumultuous times. They'll find a way back. Thank you. Thank you.
And plus, like, you know, he's got, what are his options really? Like, hey, there's something you should know about me on a first date. Kind of a beast.
No biggie.
No big.
Here's where we have to wonder. I honestly think this Tori and Vincent plotline's going to play out for a while. I think they're going to be a full-blown couple. And then I think that
We're not in predictions yet.
But I'm just saying, in relationship talk, I think that's what's going to happen. So how do you come back from that? Like, how do you come back from, like, having these new relationships? I feel like in the real world, you need, like, years, you know, to, like, be apart and to forget the hurt before you can
move on.
Yeah, but that would give the show years, so whew.
Yeah.
It's going to take years.
As much as I'm annoyed and I sound very bitter about this episode, I think it's necessary to make this, you know, to make this show interesting and exciting every week.
And it's slightly more realistic to some degree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's a mess.
So why don't we just start wrapping it up a little bit by just stating that we obviously know that Gabe and Kat are going to start venturing off into their own way. And then we end it with Vincent. This was another jaw dropper for me. Outside of the JT confession, is Vincent actually going through with coming clean. He obviously had no choice because he was dying. But
there's that.
There's just a little detail. But outside of that, he did a full-on press conference. Did not see that coming.
They probably asked him to do it.
Well, of course, but he didn't have to say yes. He could have said, "I'm still recovering." He could have used that as an excuse.
No, that is an interesting choice.
People can release a statement, you know?
Yeah, he didn't have to get up there in front of all these people in a bathrobe with his hole still in his stomach and
you got to respect
come out.
that. You got to respect that because if you're gonna reveal yourself to the world, you know, he just chose to do it listen, I'm just going to be a man about it. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to show my face. I'm not
But we
going to
can
hide
say
behind
that.
things.
We can say that hypothetically, but we don't know anything past the fact that he said his name. Like, we don't know the story he gives. We
Yeah,
don't know
what kind of cover story do you
details.
use for 10 years of being out?
Well,
Yeah.
just like Tori said, I'm a war hero. I had amnesia. I didn't know who I was, and then
But what were you doing for
Yeah,
10
like,
years?
who were you? Like, how
he
do you
didn't
make
know.
money?
We don't know. We don't know. I mean, that's
I'm
to
just curious
come.
what he's going to say.
But that's what I'm saying. So, we say it's brave and it's powerful and it's like, good for you. You're
Right.
putting yourself out there. But in reality, he could just be like, I'm Vincent Keller and I just found that out yesterday.
Well, I'm very curious about the cover. I think you go with the circus. I think that's your only move. I had amnesia and I was athletic and joined the circus.
It's just stupid. It's so stupid.
But now he's going,
Why?
he's going.
What's wrong with the circus? What's wrong
Wow.
with the circus?
He's also going to have to deal with family now, which I'm excited
Yeah.
about because I really
Yeah.
liked meeting the firefighter.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
So I'd like to see that.
All right. Well, guys, we've chatted it up, and I think we're slowly starting to run out of time. So before we do that, I want to at least get to some news and gossip because I have some.
TV News.
It's not really super gossipy, but you guys know what Jay Ryan's real name is, right? We all know his last name is Bunyan. And so, as I was going through trying to find my news and gossip, I thought, what would happen if I Googled somebody using his real name? So, of course, I did, and I came up with some really cool pictures because before that, I could not find anything of him younger. So, if our engineer could pull up some of the pictures that I had sent in for tonight, that
Really
would be
good detective work,
awesome.
by the way.
Thank you. I pride myself in searching things. Actually, this is more so for next episode, up and coming. We saw a little bit of a preview of what's coming up. Vincent and Kat are obviously working for some similar cause of a case, and
Yes.
Vince is going undercover with this woman whom we see kissing on the neck at one point, which is not okay.
And Kat's like a cater waiter.
Yeah. Moving on to the next picture, please. This is where we see her. It's almost like he walks up and she's like, boom, caught you. I don't know. That's what I feel like. Like, oh.
Well, I read a tidbit, but if you guys don't want spoilers, I won't.
I mean, you can give a spoiler.
I just read that she's working a case. She's been asked by, I think, FBI or CIA to help out on a case, so she's going undercover as well. And she's working on a heist, and Vincent is also working on it, and that they end up working on it together. Or they have to work together to accomplish a goal. So this is kind of forcing them to be in each other's lives.
I see. So let's move on to the next picture. So this is what I'm talking about. I don't know what Aladdin magazine is. I'm assuming it's some sort of New Zealand version of Bebop or one of those teen Tiger Beat. But either way, you can see him with the very awesome red lips. And,
Nice outfit.
And yeah, I don't know what is going
Wow,
on.
that's amazing.
I think it looks like a comic book. Let's move to the next picture, shall we? That one was like, wow.
Oh, he's a baby.
He's got bangs.
Yeah.
They're longer than my bangs. I know, right? We're twinsies. And let's move to the next picture. I, for some reason, like all these funny young pictures, and that's when he did go by Jay Bunyan on Neighbors.
I think maybe it was a good idea
Is that
to
a
change her
change
last
the
name.
karate outfit?
I have
No, it looks like a baseball card, Doesn't it
yeah,
kind
he
of?
signs it. I don't know.
Yeah. Very funny.
Yeah, I don't know about the picture. And that one just made me go, what? Whoa. Lady, sorry. But we make up for these pictures because I do believe I found a really good one for the end. Let's move to the next picture. Thank
Oh.
you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Is he doing like, oh.
I mean,
weights?
it's an Instagram and it's been up for a while, but that is the current Jay Ryan, the one that we know and love, and those wonderful pec muscles.
Yeah.
They're delicious. Totally relevant to the storyline, so let's move on.
That's totally relevant, yeah.
Yeah, I know that Alex is really enjoying my picture moments right now.
Motivation, whatever.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, men. So that's not very newsy or gossipy, but I just, you know me. I like to do pictures. So why don't we go into some predictions?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I feel like we went into a little bit of relationship predictions when you started talking about Vincent and Tori, and yes, I think that's going to totally play out and go into something. I do think that she's going to be the one that likes him more than he likes her.
Yeah.
She's in a more vulnerable position, I think.
She's a little clingy.
Yeah, and she's a little younger too on top of that, so I think
She's a little bit attached, like, real quick.
She's going to put that on Facebook like tomorrow.
She's going to do it without his permission, too. He's just gonna be like, oh,
She's not going to
crap.
talk to him about it. She's just going to add him as a relationship.
I want a
he's just
whole
gonna,
episode
He's
about
just going to
this.
get the request. He's going to be like, what?
But how funny
ask.
if they did like a whole episode dedicated to like social media, like, oh, look what Tori tweeted.
Ladies, you got to ask.
Yeah.
Thank you for the pointer.
I actually didn't say this, but I see that relationship. This might be getting ahead of myself, like playing out through the end of the season and kind of being like a cliffhanger. Yeah, because I feel like they can't get back together anytime soon. It's too soon. It's just too soon. It wouldn't make sense. It would just be like, what, you're just going to forget everything that just happened for this whole season, like half of the season? So I see it playing out and kind of coming to a head at the very end because, you know, the finale, it's got to be big.
I see that going in that direction, and Vincent not necessarily intentionally using Tori, but using Tori as a crutch emotionally. But really, his intentions are he still misses and loves Kat. And I feel like this next episode where we saw the pictures of, that is going to be his opportunity. He was kissing some girl on the neck, so clearly he's doing it to make her jealous and get a reaction out of her. The reaction may not be the one that he's looking for, because I feel like she's just going to think he's a big jerk.
You think he's that intentional? I don't think he's that
I don't think so
intentional.
either.
I don't give him
Really?
that much credit.
No.
I mean, I like, you know.
He doesn't seem to think twice about things.
No. I think that's more like, pretty girl. I think that's about as far as Vince is thinking.
We've really covered like what a man is this episode.
Yes, we have. Thank you.
They come in, they break a couple necks, they screw you all over.
Well, that smells good. Okay. You know, it's wolf instinct in a man.
Yeah.
That's what that
I
boils
just
down to.
Girl.
Right.
That's as far as it really goes.
Oh,
So do you have
Lord.
any predictions for us, Alex?
Oh, wow. You know, I think, I'm going to go back to Tess.
Ooh.
And I think my prediction.
The happy place.
Tess and JT, I think within the next 3 episodes, we're going to see that go down one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
kissing.
I agree.
I think we're
agree.
going to see some lip
I
contact.
think that
within
JT is
3
going to pull
episodes.
out some of the romantic things. Back in season 1, when he was trying to help Vincent win Kat over and do romantic things, I think he's going to get on the computer and search something romantical and do candlelights and flower petals or something ridiculous but absolutely adorable. That's what I think is going to
I
happen.
hope so too.
I think he's going to more just like own it and look her in the eye and just do it.
Yeah?
That's my prediction. I think he's going to beast out
Yeah, in his own JT
in his
way.
own JT way, and it's going to work for him. Within
I like
3
that.
episodes.
I like that. I'm going to hold you to that.
Countdown.
All right.
All right, so
Count
we're
it
going to
down.
count it down. That wraps today's show. So thank you guys so much for joining us again. And we will see you next week. Until then, you can follow me at Kiss My Passport and follow these lovely people.
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Paige Sullivan.
Alex Angarita.
All
That
right.
way. And we'll see you guys next time.
See you next time, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.